It seemed like the theme here was escape. And in 2015, you lost your daughter, the baby girl, Aaliyah. And throughout that year, you had 6 fights. I'm sure it was very challenging for you to have lost a daughter. And it seems that you used the ring for that escape. You had 4 knockouts that year, and I've never lost a child. I can only imagine what one must feel to lose a kid. Could you take us through that year?
I'm about 19. I have this daughter, Aaliyah, and you know, everything is on track to be good, to be healthy, and just to be like anybody else who goes through that process. And then very shortly after, finding out that she has a lot of issues, and she would have like 300, 400 seizures a day. She had brain damage, no motor skills. She couldn't sit up, she couldn't eat, she had to eat through a Mickey tube in her stomach. 8 different medicines twice a day. You got a pump in her stomach. All these doctor's appointments downtown at Vanderbilt Children's Hospital. Having to sleep with, a heart monitor and all these things, because sometimes at night she would just, things would come up. She was on life support 4 or 5 different times, and just having to, sometimes we'd be in hospital for weeks at a time. And, my first year I turned pro, I had 6 fights. My second year I had 4 or 5 fights. And so while most of these other professionals are doing their camp at home and sleeping in their bed and, have all these, normal luxuries, for weeks at a time, I would be staying in the hospital on the little pull-out futon bed, and the doctors are coming in at night, and I gotta wake up in the morning, I go to training, I come back, I'm spending time with her, then I gotta drive 45 minutes to strength and conditioning. I'm coming back, spending time with her, going home, getting more clothes or whatever has to get, brought back to the hospital to be able to stay longer. And then running downtown, coming back, sleeping on a little futon, eating the hospital food, just, not having the normal luxuries that these other athletes would have, but at the same time, maybe having more fuel being added to the fire. And that was, definitely a difficult time. And it just got to the point where it began to be too much for her, and she got put on life support for the last time. And I remember, going and having that bedside conversation with her, like, this isn't what you want to do anymore, I'm not gonna be mad at you, disappointed in you. And shortly after that, her health started to decline rapidly, and they were like, hey, either she can pass with this EEG machine, on her head and all these wires and things attached to her, we can take this stuff off and clean her up, and she can look like what you'd want her to look like. And so that's what we had, done, or cleaned up and all that. And then in 2015, she passed away.